Interesting day. It has been an interesting day of international cricket because we've got to see a very fascinating game being played between Pakistan and Australia. Clearly, some things have been exposed with regard to the Pakistan team, which is okay. The only issue is, right, you're going through a 7 over game between both sides. 7 overs for the Aussies, 7 overs for the men in green, right? You would think that, okay, despite being it a little bit more difficult because you're not playing with that 20 to 20 mentality, so you might give yourself a little bit of a lease to think that it's okay. We're not able to play with that 20 to 20 over mentality. We're playing with a 7 over game. We did not come to the playing field with that in our mindset. But now the situation demands it, right? What are we going to do? So things went a little bit off track, actually. You know what? I'll explain. You've got 9 wickets down for Pakistan, and having 9 wickets down in 7 overs is showcasing that there is a lack of depth and then there is a lack of quality power hitting within this team. It's very true that you've got 3 players within that team. You have Mohammad Rizwan, you have Babar Azam, and you have Salman Ali Agha. All three who are supposed to have this particular role of anchoring the innings in such a way around who all the others will play and to sail it all the way through. These are our top 3 batsmen right now within that team. Salman Ali Agha's position initially was occupied by one power hitter that we used to have in our team, whose name was Fakhr Zaman, right? He's not here in this team at this point. It is the lack of power hitters in our lineup which is causing this issue. I'm not saying that the solution is to bring Fakhr Zaman back. I'm saying that the solution is to find a way to groom your new talent, but your new talent is only going to be groomed if there's something that they can be inspired by to be able to push through. The batting style of these batsmen who have the ability to anchor innings is something we've always known. See, when Fakhr goes out and he bats a certain way and he showcases this level of aggression, and if he gets out, that's something that is beside the point, because at the end of the day, what you're thinking is that that's the person's natural game. That's how you're going to go about it. And that's exactly how what was needed in a very small 7 over window. 94 runs, I admit, is a big total to chase down in 7 overs. And what the Aussies were able to achieve with their batting, hats off to them. It was amazing. But the thing that Pakistan needed to do at that point was to try to lash through and try to get as many runs as possible and really come hard at those bowlers. And it's not that they didn't try to come hard at those bowlers, they did. But because you have too many people within that team who have the mentality of anchoring and sailing an innings through, that you're not able to see who in that team would have the potential to be able to just go at it in terms of aggression, to be really pushing it against the grain, to be really be this explosive powerhouse that is going to play a knock that is going to change the game on its ends. Because the thing is, with the Aussies, you saw this level of approach that Glenn Maxwell took towards these innings. There was a serious level of aggression in his eyes, primarily about how the previous matches went. He had terrible luck against Haris Rao, but you could see that Maxwell just went about the approach within this particular game by just attacking. So that was Maxie's approach. He said he's going to attack, he's going to go up against it, whatever pace is coming to it, he's going to try to duplicate or use that particular pace in order to just attack and prove his own ability as a batsman. My bad. But yes, what you get at this point, Maxwell was able to do exactly that, and that's how the Australians went about their approach. They kept the aggression going, they kept the modern day T20 mentality going. Think about it like this: scores have been going seriously high. It's about the ability to attack straight head on. You can't play the innings of trying to anchor or groom through an innings in a T20. Initially, you might think that that could have been possible for a certain amount of time, but things have moved far in contrast in T20 cricket to a point where this is not a possible approach anymore. And the Aussies were proving it in the way they've been consistently attacking. Look at Fakhr Zaman's knock in the 2017 Champions Trophy. It was coming hard at it that was able to push that score to the 330 or 338 limit. Mohammad Hafiz, to the later end of his career, was trying to change his style of batting as well, because he was able to, he was trying at least to adopt a more aggressive mentality, because he knew that the modern day cricket atmosphere demanded going up against him. Coming into a match against New Zealand in the ICC T20 of 2021, straight in, hits a 6, creates a statement. It's about that mentality that you need. You need players who are centered around trying to be strong power hitters, and that is something that is very much needed. A lot can change, of course. If it were a 20 over game, you have no idea where it could have gone. Maybe more wickets would have fallen, maybe things would have been different, maybe Pakistan would have been more at an advantage in a proper 20 over contest. I hope that in the next outing we do get a 20 over contest, a 20 over contest. But eventually, even in that case, I would slightly be inclined to make a prediction at this point and state that we're going to go slightly towards the end of Australia, because I feel as if the Aussies are out with the point to prove, and they proved it. They proved that point that they're still one of the strongest teams in international cricket, and they're trying to really push forth that champion mentality. I do believe that I would give the Aussies a little bit of an edge heading into the next match to really seal the series there. Pakistan have made a habit of winning the last two matches in series before, as we've seen over time with the Test series against England and the ODI series against the Aussies. And now coming into this, if they're able to find a way through, that would be fantastic for Pakistan. My heart says I would really like for Pakistan to win, being a Pakistani, of course. But at the end of the day, it just matters to see how things are going to go. Because if it plays out to be a 20 over contest, it would be very interesting to see how the Pakistani team would go about it. And how, of course, the Aussies, I think, they very much clearly set their mentality about how they're going to go up about their matches in the future. So, again, it's exciting times to see where they go with this. We need to really explore into how Pakistan are going to be able to create a complete team that's going to be able to fight through, because losing 9 wickets in those 7 overs was the bigger disappointment, as opposed to just trying to get that total or getting 94 runs on the board as a bowling unit. The bowling went only a certain way because that's how that bowling is going to go. It's a hardcore pace attack, and in T20 cricket, you can try your best to be quality with your to possess more quality with your bowling department, to really be able to go through, and you'll have some great performances along the day. But at the end of the day, every bowler that steps into a field for a T20 match knows and must always come out with the mentality, or just know. I mean, I'm not saying actually no, the bowler should come out with this mentality, but the one spectator who is watching it should know that most bowlers are coming out, there is going to be a cannon fodder element in them, and that cannon fodder element is going to allow those batsmen to shine through, because they are going to come hard at you. There's not a lot of overs, there's pressure to play for, and there's everything for that one extra single, or for that one extra boundary, or for that one extra over the fence 6. So you have to find a way to accept that, okay, with these bowlers are coming out, they are going to provide some quality spells, but there will be slight cannon fodder elements even within that can push these scores to even 150, 160, or 170. And a 150 in modern day cricket is chaseable. A 160 should be chaseable. Now at this point, we're looking at 180 or 190, and even in the case of the IPL, we've seen scores cross 230, 240, or 250. And mind you, that is where the next T20 World Cup would be placed. Of course, that's not psychologically something Pakistan is focusing on right now as we enter into the Champions Trophy fold, but it is still something that should be playing at the back of your mind, because that will come up. And that's about how you're going to go about this. So let's see.